95%, this is proven, actual statistic, research, 95% of AI pilots fail in businesses.
Welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast, a production from Empowering Pumps and Equipment as the voice of the pump and related equipment industries. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast. I'm your host, Charli Matthews-Caruth, and I am so excited. Today is gorgeous in Alabama. I love springtime, moving into summer. It will be awesome too, but it is my favorite time because everything is blooming and growing, and we are growing. And so I'm really excited about a lot of things going on with Empowering Industry, empowering pumps and equipment, our media brand, and empowering women in industry. So make sure you're following those channels on social media, and without further delay, jump on here and meet my guests.
Hey everybody, I'm Dawn Gagye. I am a fractional chief marketing officer and a WSI certified AI consultant. So I have been doing marketing strategy and seen a lot of changes in the marketing world for the last 25 years. And as a freshly minted AI consultant, I'm excited about all the things to come with the onset and the integration and adoption of AI in all places in the world of business. I'm also located in the Alabama area, so not that far down the road from Charli. And I agree with her wholeheartedly that this is the best time of the year. I spent my last 2 days sitting outside and working at a table outside on a patio, and it was like the perfect temperature. So, very grateful for that. And I'm excited to be here with you, Charli.
Yes, thank you. And just thanks for that energy, right? It's such a nice to be around a creative that also has some technical background and that is helping kind of bridge this digital world gap that was, you know, I guess it's been almost 20 years. I don't want to say the exact year, but when I launched my company, it was like we had to teach people how to use these digital tools, and we're still doing that today. So, excited to hear about you and how and I want my listeners to hear too, how you kind of got into this industry, and then we'll go kind of beyond too.
Sure. So I just want to make sure we're talking about the AI consultant stuff. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're a switch hitter, I want to always make sure I'm talking to the right audience. So AI consulting is so exciting. I have been really all in on AI for, I'd say, almost 2 years now. So it started like it does with a lot of people who are exploring new technologies, right? So I consider myself an early adopter, which puts me in like the Apple versus PC camp. I'm an Apple user, so like I am not afraid to dive right in and explore things and learn things. I'm a learner personality by nature on the Strengths Finder profiling from Gallup.
We love
Learners,
Gallup. We've talked about
I
Gallup here too. We love Gallup.
it's awesome. And so my number one is learner, which in the context of this new world of AI is a natural fit with being a consultant. Now, that's a big term, AI consultant. What in the world does that look like and mean? So for me, because I had already been swimming in the AI world and exploring the AI landscape for the last years, that first started to look like, huh, where am I already using AI, but probably not aware of it? Then became much more aware of it. Then I started getting into the news feeds, and news feeds meaning like in the world of marketing, we get information about what's constantly changing. Marketing is a very transformative space. Things are coming and going all the time. So by nature, I was always seeing things coming and going. And then the AI conversation entered my world through the marketing arena. And it was little things like, let's rewrite this email differently. AI would make some suggestions. Or let's A/B test these headlines on a post. AI would do one, total human would do the other. Let's run the test. And that's really where it started to get its traction for me in my world. And then I learned, gosh, some of these heavier lifting projects that I do on repeat were taking a lot of time. I was in a role at a company where that time was more valuable if I could spend it elsewhere. But this was also important doing this heavy lifting task. I couldn't farm it off or delegate to a junior person on the team. I was a co-strategist next to the owner operator of this company. So I was really desperate to kind of, desperate times, you find a way through to discover where could I refine or make this process a little more efficient, but still have a human in the loop, which is how we use that phrase in the AI world. Like I'm still involved in the process, but I'm just augmenting it with some automation. And that was in creating pitch decks and proposals. So as I got that underway, unfortunately, this company was on the down. They were about to experience a downturn. So I kind of tabled that, ended up having to exit company, and then I picked it back up in the context of my firm, which I had put on hold while I was with this other organization. So long story short, I went back and discovered I had been working on this project. I'm going to go all in on this. And it involved using ChatGPT to help me create proposals and pitches. But then I thought, wait a minute, I can iterate this into building marketing strategies, like entire marketing strategies. Now, not just taking whatever chat spit out, but having it accelerate the front end by building my own custom chat that was informed by 25 years of experience, practical real world experience and systems and utilities, building out the framework and the instructions within the chat GPT, then informing it with details about specific clients as it related to their strategy, and then seeing the output, reviewing the output, refining the output. Again, human in the loop. This is me saying, well, that's great on paper, but in the real world, it actually works this way. Rejiggering it, repopulating it, and inevitably within a 7-day period, I was able to, on repeat, output full marketing strategies through this custom chat GPT that I built, which I called Blueprint Pro AI. So that's the foundation of like how I got my hands on all this stuff. As time has gone on over those last 2 years, I've learned that not everybody feels comfortable or confident or excited about using any AI. So, where do we begin to help with that struggle or that pain and the real tension, particularly with leaders and organizations, any kind of organization who says, gosh, you know what? I know that this is coming, meaning implementing and adopting AI. I just don't know where to start. Like, how do I trust this thing? What is this going to do to my employees? Are they going to feel intimidated by this? Are they going to feel like they're being eliminated with the use of this? I don't even know what I don't know. I just know that this feels really uneasy, very uncertain, but necessary. And I'm struggling with this. So that's when I came across WSI, which is a global organization originally started as a digital marketing agency. And now they offered this AI consultancy license and kind of a accredited certificate. So I became certified a couple of weeks back and have a global bench behind me to help these people, CEOs and other leaders in organizations who are around $10 million in revenue plus and 20 to 30 employees plus, identify and understand and get training and implementation of AI within their specific needs within their business. So part of my work is to come in on the consultant level and ask questions around, tell me where your real struggles are when it comes to AI. And if you don't know, let's have a conversation to understand how we can help you get your arms around this and to what degree. So some organizations just need AI training. That means like we get 15 people or approximately 15 people within an organization who just need to understand the foundational and fundamentals of ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, whatever that looks like for them. And we give them a training from a consultant that's an actual practitioner in business, not just an AI trainer. So somebody who just has a fixed range, if you could put it that way, fixed range without the context of how this can actually be pushed out into their actual organization. We take it a step further that all of our trainers, and I will become one of those trainers, and I am one trainer now, and we put them in a classroom in real time, live, not like on demand. You're working with a consultant who's trained to do this process and educate you. And then following that with a week later, office hours. So we train, you go out, you start testing it responsibly with some guardrails within the organization. And then we say, what'd you come up with? How was your experience? Where were you successful? Where do you still struggle? And we work the problems with that consultant trainer in real time. So that reinforces the foundation of the education and the training. And the output is you actually get traction with it. There's real utility and you get results. So what's been happening now in the real world is that 95%, this is proven, actual statistic, research, 95% of AI pilots fail in businesses. That's staggering. And the reason for that is because no one's doing the actual training, or people are just kind of haphazardly picking it up and testing it without, again, guardrails, governance, or a designed intention of what type of training is the best fit in that company. And then no one's holding anyone accountable. Like, so it gets done, they don't see results, they don't discover why they're not seeing those results, and then they just pitch it. So we kind of solve for that. We're wanting to make sure people feel confident that they're capable and that they're sure that this is the right way to adopt AI, to learn AI, and level up the people in the organization that are learning it. So, common concern, people in the organizations typically think they might be replaced by AI. But our approach is to always have a human in the loop. Like, we're going to help you understand and adopt and learn the skills that you need to level up in your world, in your role, wherever possible. So the things that you're already bogged down that really aren't necessarily directly correlated with your role, like the administrative stuff, the things you're doing on repeat, we take care of that with using AI to allow you to be freed up to actually fulfill your role and the responsibilities that you were hired to do. So we empower the workforce by giving them the skill and then enable them to go deeper and go perform better within the role for which they were hired to do in the first place, but are precluded from doing because there's all this administrative bogged down bottlenecking. That's also part of what happens in most people's role. So we're fixing that with the AI.
I love that. It's just making people more efficient, better, having more time, just having more time to have
Mhm.
that um, the critical thinking, uh, time.
Mhm.
I know I said time and thinking a lot, but there, honestly, that is what it is. It's giving you a lot more time to do your job. But I love the piece that you're talking about, bringing in the trust and bringing in
Yeah.
a human to talk to people, consult people, and really understand that it's just another tool that we're using and to accomplish our goals. And so, what are the goals? Going back to strategy, right? So, you're talking about being that strategist and consultant with them. And then, what does that look like within everybody's team looks different. Every company looks different. So, you're going to have to plug in different things into this AI communication to get it right. So I love how you did that, Dawn, starting with marketing, and saw that as something that helped your own business, and then moved into, okay, now I can help others because we can't do it without trying it, So I dabble. I'll tell everyone, if you haven't used um, Claude or Copilot, you've never heard these terms before, you can just Google it. And you can also ask Dawn. But Dawn, what is the next thing for you? What are you working on? I heard the training piece. You already are certified, but you're becoming more trainers. But how do you see this kind of going forward?
Yeah, so my role right now is to really speak literally. I'm looking for speaking opportunities, which you and I have chatted about, but just in general, whether that's even one to one or one to many, about the reality, right? Like sometimes you have to put sunlight on a thing that you're scared of to sanitize it down and bring the light, right? So for me, I want to speak to those CEOs and those leaders who really maybe don't have anyone to talk to and say, I just don't even know where to start. Like, this is such a transformational period. It's new for so many people. But as leaders, we're always kind of expected to know the answers.
Yeah,
And
nobody
it's
wants to say that they don't know it. That is so true.
right. But as Brene Brown tells us, vulnerability is the way of leadership. So when you raise your hand and say, I'm really not sure. And I've seen this isn't like I hate to generalize because in reality, like I know this is a common feeling. I've heard it voiced in different ways, but I was literally in a room about a month and a half ago of many people. And there was a CEO who came to this speaking op like environment, like people were presenting, and he wasn't really the target market, but he knew that his people that he needed to get him the answers were in the room. And he was brave enough and vulnerable enough to say, "Look, I'm raising my hand literally to this panel of speakers so everyone in the room was going to hear him." And he said, "I run this type of company. I'm the CEO. I'm older. I don't understand or feel understand to make the next best decision for me." And I thought that was incredibly brave. And I know that there's other ways that CEOs and leaders are trying to start those conversations. So I'm your safe place to talk to. First of all, I offer complete discretion and confidentiality. I respect the position that you're in. I've seen this in many other ways over the last 25 years as a seasoned professional who's worked in organizations from startup to big corporations. I know what you're contending with. It doesn't matter how large your organization is. When you're a leader, these are real challenges that we face. It doesn't have to be AI. It can be DEI conversations. The tricky wickets that you're either going to have the conversation with me or you're going to have it with your peers. Have it with both. But if you want the final direction and to take the next first step, to help you get your arms around this, I would love to have that conversation with you. I'm very easy to talk with. I listen first and I understand where you are. And it's a solvable problem. So when you put sunlight on this challenge to sanitize it, you will get a solution. And what better way to be a leader than to know that there's the solution out there and to go after it to empower and enable your organization to grow and scale true to your vision. So I just want to make sure people understand that who are in this position. Now, some people wonder like, well, Dawn, have you done like B2C stuff or is it just B2B stuff? I've done both. I do have some expertise in companies that are service providers, but one of my biggest clients was a full-on retailer. So I know the struggles that they have as well. And there's a space for AI in any organization, and it's coming. And I often tell people, if you're using one of these, you know how to adopt technology. Cell phone, whether it's Apple or a different brand, doesn't matter. You most likely have one of these in your pocket. You're using it. Some people joke with me and they're like, Dawn, I'm a photographer. I've been a photographer for a while as well. I'm sunsetting that part of my career. But some people say like, I'll take out my big fancy camera on an assignment like, wow, that camera must take great pictures. It's so fancy. I'm like, well, this is also $1,000 camera in my pocket. It's how you use it. It's the operator behind it. And that's where AI is going to really soar. So how are you supposed to empower and expand and grow without the knowledge you need to utilize the tool or tools that AI is helping us with AI adoption and leverage those? If you decide not to use it, I think that is the worst decision that as a leader you can make.
Yeah, and if you do want to use it, call Dawn so that you can just talk to her. And, I also would just recommend that you do pick one of the AI, what do you call them, Dawn?
They're
AI
like an AI
programs,
engine,
app
an AI
engines. Yeah.
software.
Well,
Like I call them engines, but that may not
yeah.
technology. Everybody has their different language, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I totally.
just try one of those. I know that's scary, but you learn and you grow just by doing. I'm about practicing. So if you take a small bite just to learn something new, I think it's important to do. So if you're still too scared to do it, call Dawn and she'll talk, walk you through that very first baby step to even trying it. Y'all, I love this conversation because I know that that is something that you're all working with. You're all trying, especially my leaders on the mic and in the audience. They know that they need to use it. They are using it. Now what? What's next? How do I get that to my team, to my company, to their company's customers, and really utilize all the things that are out there. So I have a couple of quick things, Dawn, and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
One, as a photographer, I've watched a friend of mine here dive into the iPhone and really they can take amazing photos with that. Way better than I can snap, right? I haven't even looked at all the filters and different things that you can do. Do you have kind of your preset go-to of what you take pictures on your phone now?
Sure. Yeah. So my go-to when the right scenarios align with it is to use portrait mode. So when you go into your iPhone camera, there's a slider that most people know you can slide it. So whether you want to do video or photo, if you slide it, it'll do portrait. And what that does is it takes the background. Like right now behind me, you can see like clearly there's lamps and my wedding photo, and some stuff. So in portrait mode, it allows all of that background stuff to still have a place in the image, but it makes it go to blur mode. And then your focus point becomes your main subject, which if we were using this as our frame today, it would be my face and my hair, my eyes. So what that does is it draws the eye in to a focal point that you choose. Now on your phone, when you do this, say you wanted to focus on a flower and it wasn't picking up the flower, you just push and tap where you want the focus point to be on your screen, and it will capture that and identify it, and then your flower will be in focus. So that's one way to make everyday photos go from consumer to prosumer or professional looking with the iPhone. And quick little note, the Artemis mission that just came back, they used iPhone 17 Pro Max, I believe, as part of their captures to capture, I think they took 10,000 photos while they were doing their recent thing. So if the astronauts at NASA feel like your Apple iPhone is qualified to capture great photography, so are you. You're very capable of doing it. You don't have to be an astronaut.
I love it. I love it. And I know I love being able to showcase that you can teach people. You're training them how to do something. You did it
Oh.
so easy. It was so
Oh,
fast. You didn't know that that was happening, but she's a great trainer already. So let me tell you this. I can't let you go without a little rapid fire. So a couple
sure.
questions at the end. What is your favorite book?
Oh gosh, that is a big question. Hmm. I quote this book on repeat. I go to it all the time, but it is called, it's by Jocko Willink, and it's Extreme Ownership. Every leader needs to read it.
Love
Love
it.
it.
Love it. What about music? Got any favorite tunes?
Oh, I have music moods, but my go-to, ironically, is some good country.
Okay.
Like not twangy old school country, but just, solid, good country.
Love it.
Little
What
Tim McGraw is always like on rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this one a little shift a bit, but what is the best advice you've ever received?
Mm. Don't catch the ball. Weird one. It came from Evie Pomporis, who is a former Secret Service agent under three presidents. I'm very fortunate to have had her as a mentor of mine. When she was guiding me through a high conflict divorce from my first husband, with certain things, and she said it firmly but fairly. She's like, don't catch the ball. Let it go right by you. That one's not for you. It's completely okay to not catch the ball.
I love it. I'm glad you explained it because I didn't. I'm like, well, don't let it hit you. So
Yeah.
don't do that. Move aside. Okay, everybody. All right, now this is your turn. What advice would you give to somebody else stepping into the AI world?
Sure. Know that you don't need to know everything. It's impossible. It's actually a lot like photography. You can't know every single thing about photography. Even the best photographers will tell you that. There's such a big world under AI. And in the rooms I've been sitting in, particularly with my WSI global team, is we're all here because not everyone can know everything about AI. So my go-to recommendation, and I use this as in my marketing seat in marketing leadership, is you have to meet people where they're at. So where are you at right now? Um, I hope it's okay, but I'd love to offer anyone a quick win where they can start with AI. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So pick a poison. What I'd start with Chat GPT. It's not I'm not even going to put a rating on it, but it's an easy lift. So go to Chat and try Chat GPT. You can use it for free. And take one thing that you do on repeat. It can be in a personal space or professional space. So, based on your audience, I would recommend find the thing that they touch every day in their working world or their personal world and run a question about it through AI. But I want you to do it this way. And this is the one up unlock tip that most people don't get. Rather than just starting, I want you to start following four things. And this is by Jeff Woods. He wrote a book on AI leadership. When you go to put any prompt in AI, when you ask it to do a thing, you want to follow the CRIT framework: context, role, interview, and task. I'll give you a real example. I needed help planning my Thanksgiving dinner because if you've ever cooked Thanksgiving dinner for any number of people, it is a logistical experience. There's when to put the turkey in, when to do the things. I had mine. I just said, here's what I want to serve. Here's how many people I have coming. I only want to go to the grocery store once. That's my context. Your role is to be an expert caterer or meal planner to help me make that happen. Ask me questions about the people who are coming. Are there dietary restrictions? Are there times of day, like they can't eat past a certain time? And then I need you to do this task. I need you to give me step-by-step instructions and give me a grocery list so I only have to go to the grocery store one time. Please tell me when to put the turkey in, when to put the other fixings in, so that I can ultimately sit down at the table and be present with my family and not spend my entire time in the kitchen. I actually did this. So it was an interesting experiment. It wasn't 100% correct, so that's the thing you need to know about AI output, human in loop. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but start with something small. Give yourself a quick win so you feel success and you feel like you've put in a rep that's meaningful and intentional for you in whatever capacity, personal or professional. One final caveat: you must use it responsibly. You don't want to use it in a way that's going to be unethical and behaviors towards other humans, like dangerous things. And you don't want to put personal information in that you need to remain secure. Don't put social security numbers in, don't put bank account numbers in. You'd think people would know this, but they trust things too much too soon. So just use it responsibly and in a way that's protected and ethical when you first begin, because everything you put into these engines populates the engine. You become part of the data that they'll turn out for other users. So those are my hard and fast quick wins with some rules.
I love it. I love it. And Mother's Day is coming up. So if you want to have that, kind of
Hmm.
bring yourself, a quicker test there, then go ahead and do that for your next meal together and maybe add some things in there for Mother's Day. I love that.
I love
Oh,
that too.
yeah. Okay. Well, y'all, Dawn, I could talk to you forever. Love it. I love what you're doing for the women in AI too. So I'm
Mm.
excited to bring you over to empowering women in industry for that too. And so, y'all, if you have just a moment, please share this episode because it's going to help somebody get out of their own way, for one,
Mhm.
and kind of
Mhm.
amplify what they're doing every day. So, looking forward to hearing from y'all. If y'all know anybody in this AI space, send them my way. And until next time, be empowering. Thanks, Dawn.
Thank you.